Wait, cool. We're live. Let's go. Okay. Hello again, everybody. You're gonna have to deal with just me again today. That's gonna be cool for everybody. It's gonna be way worse for me, so don't even worry about it. But we're gonna figure out this all together, guys. We're gonna work through this together, and we're gonna get through this podcast together until hope arrives. Until help arrives. We are the last stand against the shitty podcast. So let's try to work on this. Anyway, I'm gonna talk for a while. Daniel would probably want me to say something about some kind of ads, but I don't really care to remember them right now. He is a shill for the corporations of America. I am taking over this podcast. But I'm just going to look up a little bit about Bitcoin right now. But anyway, we had a past week. I hope everybody's July 4th went well. I guess you could celebrate America. You could celebrate Bitcoin. Did you buy something with Bitcoin on July 4th? Did you celebrate independence? Did you celebrate freedom or whatever that means to you? Did you tell somebody about Bitcoin? Did you have annoying conversations with your family about Bitcoin? Because I did not see my family at all on July 4th. I wasted my entire time cooking food. All right, cool. We have at least 2 viewers, but that's probably Daniel and Zach, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Zach's getting on here. I probably have to send him some kind of an invite, which is probably not going to happen, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Daniel is indisposed, take that as you will, but unable to come and grace you with his presence. I am here as a man of the people. And also, as you can see, I'm trying to get this endorsement deal. It tastes like everything that you ever thought, like a bar in the middle of like a downtown, like X Steel City, like not downtown, but on the outsides, but it's still run down, disgusting. Tastes like everything you could think that bar would taste like. So if you like that, if you want a little taste of home or something like that, go for that. But yeah, I had a good July 4th, cooked too much food, still eating too much food. I think the meat's probably starting to spoil, but I'm eating it anyway because I refuse to use the dollar. I want to buy everything with Bitcoin now because I'm getting full on the Bitcoin train. Just because mostly I'm trying to buy some stuff right now and I'm trying to get everybody else to just start buying it with me. Or not buying it with me, but I want everyone else to make the price go up for a while and I can cash out, get a lot for it, get up to about like 3,500. And I'm probably going to jump out of it for a little bit and just see what happens. Okay, cool. We're up to 3 viewers. So at least one of those is not, unless John, for whatever godforsaken reason, is deciding to watch this instead of be here, which would be kind of awful. But we're gonna look through a few days. Not a few days, a few pages. Like I said, we're gonna see if Zach comes by again. I actually didn't really even introduce myself. I'm Tim Baker with you guys here tonight, so that's gonna be obviously great, as you've been able to figure out so far. I'm definitely the one that you want having doing these podcasts by myself. I'm just great at it, right? Everybody can just tweet to us, please. I also have to do that for Daniel. Tweet to us, please. Give us things to talk about on Twitter. Make Daniel start a like Instagram, like some kind of weird. We need like a Bitcoin erotic Instagram account that gets like banned from now and then, because like we need some kind of a scandal to happen. But try to get Daniel to do that. Try to get him to start an Instagram posting account. Hit us up on Dig, on in LinkedIn. We really want the LinkedIn hits up right there. Looks like Daniel's tweeting all this out. Cool. Yeah, just hit us up on any kind of social media. It helps us. I should definitely be looking at the chat by this point, because I need something else. Maybe I don't even have it. Never mind. Let's see where we are. Anyway. So yeah, hopefully you guys had a good time. What was I talking about? Anyway, doesn't really matter too much. We're gonna talk about what I was looking at just now. There was this. Oh, never mind. We've already talked about that. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. What do I want to talk about? Okay, I'm probably just gonna rant for a little bit. So enjoy that. Because Well, Daniel isn't really here to stop me, so I'm just going to talk about it for a while. And it's that I guess probably the thing I most enjoyed about this July 4th was that I wasn't with my family and they weren't asking about Bitcoin, because before it was always that one, that Bitcoin was falling apart, or that they had just heard about Mount Gox losing all their money. So they're like, "Oh yeah, you out of that yet?" No, no, no. And then now, more recently, it's been like, "Oh, it went up like $2,000. I thought it was dead," and they talk about that. But yeah, that was kind of cool. I don't. I guess if I ever do find a chat, because I feel like if I get back to the YouTube, I will find the chat. And it looks like I just did. Yeah, cool. Huddle. Okay, cool. We do have some people talking. I just need to mute myself in this. Wow, I hate my voice. Anyway, I guess everybody goes, hello, New York cartoons. Thank you, 21 million clubs. No, or yeah, 21 million club. No missing fingers. Cool. Um, I mean, I am gonna hold. I'm gonna hold till it goes to 350. I'm definitely down for holding until it's 350. Daniel's tweeting weirdly sexual quotes from Spider-Man. I'm not, fuck you, Daniel. We don't need you here. Anyway, yeah. Talking about Bitcoin. I didn't talk to anybody about it because, like I said, I'm trying to get to 350. And okay, this is what we'll cover. And Daniel told me about this before, and this is from a website called Bits Online, which I have no idea of their credit or their credibility. Apparently, CNN is just doxing people left and right. So maybe Bits Online just murders children or something. I don't really know. So maybe they just make up these stories. But apparently, Ronnie Moaz, who I guess is a big investor, I don't know. I've never really heard of him, although I'm not crazy into the investing game. I do not have that money. Trying to, and I need you guys to donate. That's mostly what I need. I forgot about that at the beginning. Don't don't just tweet Daniel. Don't just make him make some kind of strange, awkward Instagram account. Um, oh, now they're having me try to send a link. This is gonna be annoying. Anyway, Bits Online. We'll talk about it for a second. Then I'll start trying to send this up. Anyway, this is the guy. He's saying Bitcoin is going to go to $50,000 in the next decade. It says investor Randy Moaz. Okay, I'll let you guys talk about that while I attempt to start adding people to this. Because I mean, I'm going to say I don't know how, because I just don't want to add them, because I think I'm doing a way better job. And I mean, maybe if I can stall long enough, the chat will just stroke my ego a little bit, tell me we don't need them, but it doesn't look like it so far. So it looks like the people are. Well, wait. What's Bitcoin? Bitcoin, hold on. Okay. All right. Daniel's in an Uber. Okay. He's using the free market against the taxi drivers like a fuck. Anyway, I don't remember. I'll do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll get Daniel at least in here. He can cover for me a little bit. Zach. Because now, now this is the problem. I'm trying to remember Zach's last name, so this is not going. I know it has something. Fuck. Anyway, okay. $50,000. Do you guys think is going to go to $50,000? That'll be interesting, because now we have 7 people, so we don't just have me sounding stupid to Daniel and Zach. We have me sounding stupid to actual people. But I'm just going to ask Zach what his name is. Uh, Speaking of names, there's this guy, Ronnie Moaz. You can also tell me if you have any idea who this guy is. Um, okay, yeah, no, please, Daniel, dial in from the Uber Ridge. Every time you hold, an angel gets its wings. I mean, that's sweet, but I don't really care about angels. I want $35,000 in my pocket, or at least in my like crypto wallet, because that's just as good. Anyway, in this whatever story I'm covering from, again, the very whatever Bits Online. He says that Bitcoin will hit $5,000 next year and will then land somewhere between $25,000 and $50,000 in the next decade. So again, misleading title, slightly clickbaity. Let's critique this as much as we can. But he's kind of jumping on a little bit, like a lot of people are starting to get into, like, yeah, Bitcoin's going to be like $100,000. It's going to be crazy, blah 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 blah. I don't put too much credence in what they say. I mean, I guess as long as Bitcoin goes the way of being more like mainstream, more widely used, more accepted, more used for like smaller transactions, um, or tried to assimilate in like daily to day, hand to hand exchange of things. I could see that maybe, but then at some point you do lose the actual usefulness of it. So whatever. Again, I'll see if anyone is talking about any kind of no one's giving me any kind of prediction. What? Okay, I guess I'll. There's like they mention other people in the article, other people who have been into it. The article is literally like 2 paragraphs. They mention also Mark Cuban. Oh no, they mentioned Mark Cuban as a counter to this, and everybody knows that's because he was a Hillary supporter, so he's counter to crypto. Because as we said in our very special election coverage of Trump, Trump is completely for Bitcoin and he loves it. He supports it. He uses it every day. He thinks it's phenomenal. He thinks it's huge. Anyway, enough of my retarded attempts at sounding like people. Um, yeah, Ronnie Moss is from Florida, so I kind of just assume he has some kind of a record. I feel like you kind of just have to. No offense to any of our listeners. No, I mean, if you're listening from Florida, I love you because I need people like you in case stuff does go bad in Bitcoin, and I need someone who's willing to go to jail for like $100. I'm sorry about that. I thought I just heard a noise. I'll be now. I just need to wait for Daniel to come in here. Um, please. Okay, if this is one of those podcasts where like while I'm getting podcast, I get shot in the back of the head. Like, please tell me if there's someone in the window behind me. Or actually, no, don't tell me. Just let it even know. Wait, James Bond. Yeah, what's back? Oh, yeah. Nobody has any idea what's backing up the $5,000 price. Hello, James. I am alone tonight because again, Daniel has left us swinging in the wind with no foundation, just like this claim that's going to go to $50,000 just because. He says they're going to fight over the 21 million coins. I guess he's depending on that Bitcoin will become scarce. I mean, it has that going for it, but at the same time, if we start putting other technology into it, I think we can kind of overcome that. If you're just going to base it entirely off of the scarcity, I think that's kind of a weak argument for it. Um, maybe I could definitely I could see it getting to 5,000 over the next couple of years, just as it slowly goes up as more people use it, and then kind of stopping out there. If it goes to 50,000, um, that's cool. Yeah, no, exactly. Daniel is a flake. Daniel is a complete flake. Um, and actually, again, Instagram, and we're losing listeners. Anyway, Instagram, get Daniel to start an Instagram account because in a couple weeks I'm going to fly out there and live on his sofa for a little bit, and I'm just going to take pictures doing OIM and show you the behind the scenes work of you, me, and BTC. So please get Daniel to start an Instagram, and I'll run a Snapchat. I'll do everything. Um, yeah, I guess again, what's backing up the $5,000 price? I guess what's backing up the $2,000 price? What's backing up whatever? We don't know if it's going to be a bubble. We don't. Well, I guess we have talked on the show before about bubbles not really existing as far as in Bitcoin because it's not technically a bubble yet, and everybody uses bubbles incorrectly. But that's getting back to using economic terms that nobody really uses correctly, and we sure as hell do not. Um, I'm looking at another. Okay, here's a string of tweets, and it's called the real story of Bitcoin scaling it's by at JF Newberry. I don't know how this is gonna go. It might end up being stupid, but we're gonna look through it while we're waiting for Daniel or for me to get killed. James is referencing to, yes, all of our all of our listeners on Alpha Bay buying Xanaxes just to get through, or no. I guess if you're buying Xanaxes to get through our show, that means it's like crazy and like white knuckle. So I guess I'm cool with that. If everyone's just like barred out just to deal with our show, I'm all about making a podcast that is as uncomfortable as I feel like I sound. Anyway, this is from, I guess maybe he writes a crypto stack or a collection. It's about Bitcoin scaling. Anyway, he's saying it's by John Newberry, again at JF Newberry, spelled JFNEWBERY. Ignore the drama of big blocks, small blocks, extension blocks, 2x for a minute. Here's the real story of Bitcoin scaling. Every day we learn a little bit more about how decentralized consensus systems work in the wild. Every day we make a Bitcoin a little better. Last week, the Blue Mat script catching PR number 10192 was merged. Boom. Block validation is now 30% to 50% faster. Less than a month before that, SIPA's per TXO DBPR pound 10195, number 10195, went in 0.25% faster, reindexed with lower memory use. Yes, oh, gee, I have no idea what this means at this point. No fanfare, no drama, just brilliant people diligently, methodically, conscientiously writing, reviewing, testing quality code. Yes, I want shiny toys like Segwit, and Sigad, but when those things get activated, there will be the next thing and the next blank, the only thing that matters. Okay, they're saying there'll be the next thing and then the next. The only thing that matters in the long run is that there will be incredibly smart people working on this, and there are the most intelligent people I've ever met. That's why I'm optimistic about Bitcoin scaling, and that's why I feel incredibly privileged to contribute in my own small way. So that's definitely like a positive message for Bitcoin, for uh for yeah, huddle, because we're gonna work it out, because it's gonna work out. But so basically he's saying the exact opposite of what I was saying before, and he's saying we can work this out and don't just wait for it to go to 3,500 like he is, because the people behind it are smart and they're crazy good at things and they're amazing and they're just great people, which is cool. But smart people and great people are also the people who end up fucking other people over. So I might still just dip out for a little bit. I don't know. I get a little bit scared sometimes when people are smarter than me doing things. That's why I feel like the bankers are pretty smart. They figured out a way to do this. Okay, there we go. Uh, I'm gonna try again, Zach. Um, but yeah, no, that it sounds. He sounds pretty like it's positive. It's there. All right, sent invite. Um, it's positive and it's something that's good to hear with everybody talking about how we have to do this, we have to do this, or you can't take this away, or you can't um you have to do it this way, you have to use SegWit, or no, we can't do anything, we have to just, you have to stay like this, or but I think it is something to say that there's an argument to be made for being progressive, but at the same time, like conservative about it. Like you want to progress, you want things to to uh, to develop, to become better, to evolve, to change in a good way, but you need that to happen at a pace that allows other things to catch up with them, because a lot of the problems that happen is when, well, not even necessarily problems, but most, if you have a problem with something, it's when things start to outstretch others around them, and then they don't have the infrastructure. Like, it might be a great technology, but they don't have the infrastructure to end up supporting that. So that is now a problem. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, New York cartoons. Smart people are not always great people. Smart people, like, I forget there was some kind of a tweet that Neil deGrasse Tyson put out. He was like, "Where are all the scientists in government? Where are all these people? We need people." I'm like, scientists are the kind of people who will give us like, um, what's Brave New World, where it's just like, well, we engineered all the fetuses to make just enough, and we make sure that the people are gonna have to work no like shit jobs, like working shit jobs, and you just end up being a statistic. Um, so there's always that kind of, oh, now we have none. Everybody left me at this point, Daniel. I fucked up. Uh, but it is sometimes scary because you'll have someone who they may even be smarter than you, but it's still not necessarily the smartest idea for you to give them like control of your life. Like people be like, I mean, it's like that's why we have stuff like the FDA or these regulations, is because people aren't like, they're kind of like, I don't want to have to trust this person. I don't want to have to make the decision. And you get that. You get wanting to have like a regulation for, because it makes it feel better. But it's not like in a company's best interest to just sell you bad food. And it still happens. People still get food poisoning. It's just because it just gets in there. It's not the company being like, yeah, we're gonna fuck the, like they don't. That's not good for them. And it's not like the FDA really stops anything that's been bad. Like every single time, like people are like, oh, good thing the FDA recalled all this shit. And it's, but they let it through. And like you have to have testing in the first place. And unless you've, like, what's the point of only testing something for a short period? Anyway, ranting about that now. But like I was saying before, going all the way back, it's good to finally see, not even finally, but I guess this is our normal answer on You Mean BTC, which is just be in the middle, like smart people figure it out because we don't know, and it's better than trying to just break the system by just like completely changing it. Cool. So that wastes another little bit of time. My invites are not working. Um, I guess I'll talk about Bitcoin then. What have I done recently with Bitcoin? I haven't done too much. I feel kind of like sometimes I'm out of the loop a little bit because I don't want to have to worry about it. I don't want to have to care about the price. So I kind of just go, oh, whatever. Instead of, like, I guess it really wouldn't be that hard to be involved with it or to just pay attention. It's, I get bored with it. I don't know if it's because it's not dropping like by like $1,000 every other couple minutes, or if it's just, maybe I'm just lazy. I don't know. Maybe it's that. Again, Miller Lite, sponsor me, please. Um, you can throw out. You can find me. Oh wait, now we cut Daniel
Woo!
finally back
What's up?
for the last little bit to try to save it out of the shower or something. Maybe
How
he was
bad
just
was it?
sweating a lot. Oh,
No,
it
I
was
didn't.
awful.
I wasn't even in the shower.
We
I literally walked out of the Uber and sat down at my computer.
okay. No, we were up to about or I was up to about 7 viewers. We're now down to two. So we're getting
Oh,
slaughtered right
jeez.
now, really.
What
Um
did you do?
I just talked, man. I
Yeah, what
talk.
did we cover?
Well, not too much. I've been mostly trying to talk about July 4th and trying to tie that into stuff. And
Yeah,
it's
my
not
tweet
really.
was when I just like half an hour ago when I said it's going to start late. I was like, yeah, I actually knew for several days, actually several weeks, that I wasn't gonna be around. Like I booked this flight however long ago. But I was like, yeah, but I was just too upset about Murica Day to even use the tweeter. So
All right, good. So I kind of shit on uh July 4th for a little bit. So you'll be happy.
hold on. I keep it going. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Okay, good. Daniel's leaving. All right, Daniel's back, and we already have more viewers again, so we need more Daniel. He already took his headphones off, so then nobody actually heard it. So I'll do all my praising of him right now. Daniel's here to save it. He he fucked up, guys. It's not my fault. We're already back up to 5 viewers now, just with Daniel being back. This is great. Either we're back to 4. Either it's that or it's Daniel putting out bots. He's doing something off camera, so he might be. Oh, and he's back. We're already up to 4 viewers, man.
I know.
But
I'm
yeah,
keeping it going.
Daniel's July 4th messed
So
him up
my
because he
here's
forgot.
what we could do. I'm going to pull up my Twitter. Literally, I follow some accounts that just kill it in the best way ever.
I was just going through my
On
Twitter thing.
oh, good, yeah. I'm thinking about like the art of not being governed, Anarchy Ball. You know, they always have great memes, but especially around the 4th.
Yeah, I should have done that because I saw one.
Actually, I'll just go through my own Twitter because I'm sure I retweeted most of them. You can tell if anyone out there wants to know when I'm on the can, just go look for when I retweet stuff, and that's about when it is. All right, let's see. Where I gotta pull this up. Like I said, it's a crazy show. I don't know what. I'll have to listen to it later and write some show notes. And
you don't even want to do that, but like it wasn't as long of pauses. There were definitely pauses. But I'm going through.
All right, yeah. What do we got here?
Right
I got my screen share turned on. Can you see this, Tim?
Just give me a second.
What the frick does that mean? No.
Yes, okay. Yes, and I saw this before. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go through my own Twitter because I'm sure I retweeted them all. This one is a fun one. North Koreans worship their leader as a god starter pack, and it's the Lincoln Memorial, Mount Rushmore, the Washington Monument. I don't even know what the rest are.
What is center right?
Center right? What?
On that, like those.
I don't know. I feel like it's from a movie or something, I don't think it's a real monument. That's like freaking weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it is.
Tweet us, please. You mean
where people think their taxes go? Building roads with $100 bills. Where their taxes actually go? Military planes. Oh, here's another good one. On the flight, I like to scroll through Twitter and open a bunch of articles and just leave them open so I can read them while I'm flying. I was reading one about how they found documents revealing that the Pentagon, like, heavily, no, I don't know, heavily is up for debate, but the Pentagon has a lot of direct control over Hollywood. They cut out lines from movies. They outright reject movies that end up never being made because the Pentagon won't allow it. That was pretty crazy, but that's a different topic. So here's another one. There's 2 pictures. One's the British in the red coats. One's the U.S. modern military. And it says, one of these is an army of imperialists bent on world domination. And then in parentheses, the other one is 2. Oh, dear. Here's a good one. Explain the difference. It's literally a row of Nazis waving Nazi flags and a row of Americans waving American flags. I know it's the dregs of the internet is Hitler comparisons, but it still makes you laugh.
Well, it's I saw one today. I guess yeah, no, I am burnt as fuck, like James said. But I saw some, I saw some today. It was, I guess people are like July 4th, everyone like burns a flag or something, or not obviously not everybody, but like people do it and then post online like woo. But then people also like piss on it or shit on it, and it was a meme. Something was like, would you get offended if a girl pissed on a red flag? Would you get pissed off if a girl pissed on a blue flag? Would you get pissed off if a girl pissed on a white flag? Would you get pissed off if a girl pissed on a red, white, and blue? Like, it's a fucking piece of fabric, and I get that it's symbolic, but unless you're a fucking 12-year-old, get over it.
That's the biggest thing. Like,
there is no, like, even if you think there are holy things, if it's produced, unless it's like some kind of weird flag that you've had for like 300 years and then someone like takes it and pisses on it. But no, they bought it at Walmart. It was made in China, and it's made to just take your money away. Why does it matter?
Made in China. That's a good one, but true, I'm sure, mostly. Yeah, you're right. I mean, regardless of what the frick you believe and want, and yeah, fabric. You're right. You're right. And here's another one. Same idea. Skycloth demands worship. I don't really know why I retweeted this one. It's kind of boring, to be honest, now that I think about it. But
You're not boring, Daniel.
when you realize that government is the problem, and it's just like SpongeBob opening a box of voluntarism or something.
No, it's just anarcho-capitalism. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, that's what I meant.
I
Yeah.
saw
Anyway.
this one below, and I
Oh,
was
this
like,
one was good. It's for anyone listening to the audio. I'm going to describe all these, but obviously you got to watch. You got to watch and listen.
obviously.
But yeah, this is we did a whole episode on trolley memes, which you should all check out. Literally an entire episode devoted to trolley memes. And this was a good one. It's like an inverse trolley meme where there's a guy going down the track about to run over trolleys, and there's a trolley controlling the switch. Oh, geez, that's a good one. Oh, I meant to. I also pulled up the chat here. I don't have this embedded on the site. So at the moment, you, me, and btc.com/live does not actually work because, like I said, this is totally impromptu. I've known for weeks that I was going to be late, and I didn't do anything about it until 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock Eastern. So, yeah, so Daniel is a flake. Yes, I am, James Bond. You are correct. Smart people are not always great people. That's true. Did I just get out of the shower? No. This is Phoenix. It's at least 110 right now.
Oh, nice.
I don't want to see any pissing. What the hell, man? That's a good point. Like, I'll get over it because it is just fabric, but I still don't really want to see it. Like,
just don't watch the video.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just not
Unless someone's doing it on the road, and if someone's doing on the road, just like get a paintball gun and shoot them in whatever they are pissing with. Maybe it's both. Shoot them in both.
Here's another one for you. Who would win? A, picture the British, the largest and most highly trained army and navy on the earth, aided by tens of thousands of top-grade German mercenaries. Or B, some like what's her name, Betsy Ross, and like George Washington folding the flag, and they're like some drunken libertarian farmers and fishermen with outdated hunting equipment. Yeah, apparently the libertarians won, but I might not have retweeted this one. You can't really call George Washington a libertarian, given that he led his own military against a tax revolt. I retweeted something about that.
Yeah, there were also like a bunch of those things, though.
We're on our way to freedom. Just add a little government and crap. There's a police state with a bunch of armor and guns.
Get down.
Don't forget to celebrate your freedom by only using approved pyrotechnic devices currently allowed by local and federal laws. I do love fireworks. I'll give them that. I mean, I'm sorry, they're just fun. They're cool. Here's my argument. Fireworks increase demand for explosives, which means it costs more for people to build bombs. So yeah, I'll go for fireworks. They're the safest use of explosives in the world. So, what do you think?
What?
Here's another one. This one, who did I send this to? I like to download these when I'm on the can too, and like text them to all my friends. Pay a 3% in 1776. Pay a 3% tax on tea, and then there's Braveheart saying screw that, or no, it's the Patriot. Sorry, it's same guy, whatever.
It's Braveheart. We want free, and it's just against the British. It's all against the British. Fuck the British.
Well, he's like, screw that. I'm not paying a friggin' 3% tax on tea. And then it's 2016 where Obama says pay 40% of your income, and this guy decked out to the frickin' wrists with American flags says yes, sir. With a salute to boot.
Salute to boot. That's what we're doing. We're doing poetry again.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, if you're not keeping up with all these retweets, I don't know what the heck you're doing. Make sure you're following you, me, and BTC on Twitter. That's always fun. So yeah, this is something I mentioned a week or so ago. I'll stop sharing so you can see my pretty face. I mentioned last week or the week before that this is a Bitcoin podcast, and once a couple months ago when we started doing the live streams, for whatever reason, it kind of fits the live atmosphere a little better. We would focus on Bitcoin news. That's just what we did. And so we for a couple months we spent less time, not no time, just less time ranting on about random liberty oriented stuff. We focus on Bitcoin news. So that's what that happened, and I'm sure we'll still spend plenty of time on Bitcoin news. But but I like to dive into liberty stuff now and then too, and that's still our roots. We are, as I say in every single show notes, we are your Liberty and Bitcoin podcast. I'm not seeing Zach. I sent him a link, and I thought you sent him an invite. So I don't really know what's up. This is a couple weeks in a row here where he flaked on us. You talk about me being a flake.
Well, he said he didn't get the invite, so I might just. Well, no, fuck him. I didn't send it wrong. I definitely sent it right.
Yeah, he's saying I didn't.
Hmm?
Yeah, he's saying I didn't send him the link, but I did. So I don't know what's up.
So just
I got. I'm gonna find. I think. Oh, where would it be?
Wait, did you say what you did on July 4th? Get the let us in, just so you can distract. Like you can talk about that while you look for it.
Yeah. Wait. What did I do? July 4th. I mean, I did. I went to a bar and watched fireworks at night because, like I said, I like fireworks. What did I do during the day? I don't even remember. Oh, I did end up. I was at the beach. I was at Hilton Head, and there was like a private carnival type thing. I mean, like, yeah, they had some music and hot dogs and what else? See, that's the other thing. Like, Fourth of July is what it is. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm still gonna take a day off work.
Yeah.
or no, I'm still happy to get a day off work is what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
I'm still happy to go out and have a picnic. Like I'm not gonna not do that. I like hot dogs. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna wear red, white, and blue because I don't feel the need to do so.
You're trashy as fuck, man.
So Zach replied to my sending him the link, so maybe he'll show up here at some point. We'll see. We'll see what his thoughts are on 4th of July. Might get a different opinion. Hey, what's been going on in Bitcoin though? While we're waiting, we can at least touch on it. So all this we skipped it last week because why not? But yeah, obviously hard fork is on everyone's mind right now. We're down to less or soft fork. That's a big question. Hard fork, soft fork, chain split, all kinds of stuff. Articles about divorcing and whatnot.
We're getting divorced.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Song's latest article, and we love his articles.
Bitcoin is getting divorced. What will they do with the kids?
He was basically saying like, we'll have to split everything up. Some people will get some exchanges, some people won't. Some people will get some the brand. The brand was one of the biggest things. Both sides, if we do split, are going to claim to be the Bitcoin, and that's going to be a huge brand argument. Bitcoin.org and Bitcoin.com are owned and controlled by opposite sides of the spectrum, which has already caused problems and would only get worse with a chain split. We got r/Bitcoin and r/BTC on Reddit, which is the exact same deal, already caused problems and would be even worse in the event of a divorce. And so it's all, everyone's going to be fighting for that Bitcoin brand, and new users are going to be confused the crap out of crap. And, the theory is that it would be devastating. Bitcoin might survive, but, some people, and it's tough because I might agree with them. Some people say it would almost certainly be the end. I mean, even if Bitcoin kept going, it would just be defunct for the most part, and there would be too much of a vacuum for another altcoin to take things over, which a lot of have already come close to doing that, whether it's Ethereum or whatever. So, what do you think, Tim? Is whether or not a divorce is imminent, do you think it has a chance of devastating Bitcoin, the brand, and everything?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Oh,
can.
there he is. Sorry, I wasn't actually watching the video. I didn't see you join us.
You scared him.
No, you're good.
So instead of switching back to 4th of July and then back to chain split stuff, we'll just keep going with chain split stuff, and then we'll talk about 4th of July a little bit to wrap up. I don't know if we'll hit a full hour. I'm like, as I'm sure you've heard it as Tim entered the show, it's kind of just whatever today. So yeah, Tim, what do you what was my question? Oh yeah, is it possible that Bitcoin the brand could just fall apart in the event of a chain split?
Yeah. I mean, it could just because.
What a dumb question. Is it possible? Yeah, frick, of course.
Yeah, obviously, if people are like, fuck, we're dead. Like if one of the what it happens if someone in control just decides to get a little bit too drunk the night before or something like that, and just fuck it, we're doing it now. And it's something like that. Like something like that could always happen, or it could just be it completely goes off normal and people just don't like the idea of dealing with both. CNN hits people the right way, and then everyone's like, "This is wrong. This is stupid. This is like." Yeah, because it'd be. I can see why, especially someone from the outside could look at it and be like, "This is what you have an internet currency that is not based on anything, and then you also it's splitting in half. Why do I want this?" So I could definitely see it hurting it. I could definitely see there being a problem if it makes if it literally like I think probably the most likely thing is one of them is just going to accept being smaller and just probably just make a more distinct name, or maybe even the bigger one is going to do that and just try to separate itself, and then they'll just be used for different things. But definitely the brand of actually I guess I would say at least for a little bit just the brand name of Bitcoin is going to be kind of tarnished if it
Oh
if it
yeah,
happens
absolutely.
like it has to be.
Yep.
Is
I
that
think
though? I'm not like super technically knowledgeable about the like which we've talked about before, but is that like the key difference here? Just the fact of how big Bitcoin is, the fact that it's the first currency and all that, as opposed to the Ether fork. Like, is that the only difference between why Ether was just like a fork? Sure, it went to Ether Classic and Ether, whatever, and
so.
now Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously there's tons of opinions. Yeah, the size is a big factor. Bitcoin is big enough now that it would be a big. It is as we're seeing as we speak. It is a huge deal to split Bitcoin because it's big. It's huge.
Yeah, yeah,
And a lot of people used it. When Ethereum split, it was magnitude smaller. I don't know the actual numbers of users or the market caps, but yeah,
right.
it was so much easier to influence Ethereum to make a split happen because it was just smaller and there were less people to convince and it was easier to deploy code and make it happen and everything. So yeah, and the infrastructure was smaller on Ethereum. That's a factor too,
Sure.
because right now in Bitcoin, all the exchanges have to update their software to support SegWit2x or user activated soft fork or BIP 148 or whatever they all are. So
Yeah,
right now,
true.
the more infrastructure there is, it's all that makes it harder to update and change as well. Whereas with Ethereum, with less infrastructure, it was easier. Not still not easy, but easier to just say, all right, let's split. And they did.
Yeah, no, that's what I was assuming. That makes sense. And I just pulled up, I was curious, there's on Coin Market Cap, their pricing, which I'm not exactly sure how, I guess, but they're pricing Bitcoin Unlimited futures, and it's already at $105. Like it's over the past couple of months, it's been pretty steady around. Oh wait, just kidding. It went up to over two. It went to like 275 at one point.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a
I have a
tough one because nobody really knows. Well, first of all, that is a really cool indicator of the market. It's extremely helpful to have a market for something like Bitcoin Unlimited, so you can see how much traction it has. But it's interesting that it's Bitcoin Unlimited because I think everyone agrees that that's more or less done. Not completely. Some people say it's still, it could still happen. But now it's more about SegWit 2x versus
right. I'm all
versus
confused. No, yeah.
soft fork and stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, it's same idea though. So it's a really interesting question. And I also don't know about what exchange was it?
It's not an exchange, just a price site.
Okay.
CoinMarketCap.
Okay, I think the exchange that started it was Bitstamp. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, it will be interesting to see if whoever started trading Bitcoin Unlimited, it'll be interesting to see if they honor a different kind of chain split. If it splits into, if the user activated hard fork went through, where the miners hard forked to 2 megabytes, would they exchange that for Bitcoin Unlimited? I don't know. I guess they shouldn't, but it depends what their terms are, I guess. But so okay, yeah. So where were we? Wondering if the brand would be diminished. I guess we are generally agreeing that it would. It'd be painful. It was tough reading Jimmy Song's article. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, he was just saying how it would be like a divorce, and there would be a crap ton of suffering, and that's freaking true. No matter
it's always
how
the hardest on the kids.
yeah. Oh, he probably even had an analogy for the kids in there. Who are the kids? The users, maybe? I don't know.
So the minors are the children, and the uners are the minor children.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot.
Okay,
Anyway,
good.
so
Baby's
we don't have
back
to
in the
get into that
bathroom.
too much. That was just kind of a random.
So we don't agree that fork and all that is overhyped. He had like a tweet in there that someone said, "Oh, it's just like Y2K. It'll be overhyped."
Oh, that is a good question. Yeah, so definitely worth talking about. Will it be like Y2K? Will it just be a ton of hype and nothing happens? Oh, shoot, that's a good question. Anybody want to go? I could take a stab at an answer, but you guys have anything yet?
I started talking
No?
about Bitcoin Unlimited, so I'm not. I got lost right off the get go, so I'm going to sit this one out. I just wanted to know if you guys already talked about it and just
No.
decided.
Yeah, we haven't
Overhyped.
talked about it yet. My best guess, what do I think about that? I guess Jimmy Song's response was that that tweet was a little off base. It's a little off. This is more important. This Jimmy Song's had at least part of his point was that this could be way bigger than Y2K. And I like Jimmy Song. I like what he talks about and everything. But I got the screen locked on myself somehow. I don't know. See if that helps.
Son of a bitch.
I don't know. I would probably lean towards disagreeing with Jimmy. I would probably lean towards agreeing with the tweet that says it's overhyped. I would lean towards agreeing with the tweet and saying that it will be like Y2K. And here's why. I believe that about a lot in life. Whether it's Bitcoin or whatever. I believe a lot of things in life are overhyped. I think people just love to argue. They love to try to get their way, and that's all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, everything is usually fine. So it's just a leaning. I could be totally wrong. But that's the way that I lean, is that I'm a catastrophe skeptic, and I've explained that phrase on the show a couple times before. So, you can dig through our hundreds of episodes to find it if you want to know what I mean by catastrophe skeptic. But that's what I am. And so, yeah, I would lean towards Y2K. Won't be a big deal. Even if it does split, I think, Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, they're both still there, regardless of how messed up you think it is to fork in that kind of situation. Both of them still exist and still work and are still used. and I think Bitcoin would survive as well. So that's me. What you got?
I tend to agree with yes, you know exactly. James is right. You're trying to haul all the attention. Please do not block James again. He's my only support here. But I would be more like where things don't generally go insane. Normally, now there is every so often there's a thing where stuff falls apart and people just kill themselves because their life has gone so bad, and it's like a collective thing. But
That's what we
normally,
thought. That's what we thought happened to Dan tonight.
yeah,
We
no,
didn't
that's what I thought.
respond.
I thought either like something happened where he's like, I can't live anymore. I can't live without this person in my life, or he lost all kinds of money and was like, "Fuck it, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore." I was like, "No, he took my money." I was about to be so fucking pissed off. You cannot kill my.
He ran out of Peach Rings vape.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
he was like, "What the point is? What's even the point of life anymore? I don't even understand when I can't get clouds of peach rings right now." But normally, it is just stupid things like Daniel forgetting to set it up before he got on the plane.
Yeah. So I said this. I said this before Zach came on, and maybe there's some new viewers. I'm late tonight. I didn't show up on time. And I actually knew that I was going to be late for like at least a couple weeks because I had this flight booked. But here's what I'm trying to say is you as audience members, you should know that, you know, it's not because I dislike you. Or even if it is, you should know that I dislike Tim and Zach and John as well the same, because I didn't tell them either that this was delayed until literally like 5 minutes before the normal start time. So yeah. So whether you think I hate you, audience, or whether you think I just am not paying attention to you, and that's why I didn't let you know that tonight's show is going to be late, at least you can feel good knowing that I also happen to hate or not care about or inform Tim and Zach and John as well. So you can identify with them and go have a hate Daniel party, which is already kind of going on in the chat. So
the show.
wait, I have a question.
Hey, real quick though, just for you guys chatting, I don't quite know what's wrong with the screen. I'm clicking around trying to switch it so that it auto switches, but if it's stuck on me, it's stuck on me, and I'm sorry.
So going back to Catastrophe Skeptic, maybe you guys, I'm even later than you were, so maybe you already talked about this, but there's obvious damage that could happen to the Bitcoin brand because everyone knows Bitcoin has one coin, and if there's two Bitcoin, like, it's obvious. But your opinions on that doesn't seem as obvious to me is damage to the price, which I see as like obviously related but different. And here's reason why I'm not sure, because obviously, for example, when like halving comes up and everyone knows like that's an expected event. No one is ignorant about it. And so there's no huge price fluctuations, at least like not usually. They're not expected because everyone, like, it's built into the price. Everyone knows about it, that sort of thing. And so like that could be an argument for why the hard fork is not going to, SegWit is not going to like destroy the price with two coins and all that sort of thing. Same time it could, because unlike the halving, not everyone knows. Like, just I read an article today, threw out a stat that in this month, Coinbase added 1 million new users in 30 days, and I guarantee you all of them don't know that this massive Bitcoin splitting is coming up. Like, we talked about the brand, but do you think it'll hurt the price just as much, or is that like not as much, totally different issue? I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because because, well, it's not necessarily. It's just people aren't fully in. Like, the idea isn't the idea isn't as out there as you'd think it would be for how big it can be.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, that makes sense. So like, I was asking that in like preface to my second question. So we've talked about cold storing Bitcoin and all of that to prepare for the fork and all of that.
Oh, right.
So my question is, is that like the best solution to the fork, or should alternatively, again, like any answer is not official investment advice, but should we just dump all of our Bitcoin into Ether or Monero or something, since we have no idea what's going to happen to the price? And if it tanks, Bitcoin you have, because both are shitty, and instead just like dump it in some other altcoin. Like, you see what I'm
So,
asking?
yeah, it's an extremely good question, and you're correct that we can't give official advice. But so first of all, talking about the cold storage, because somebody was asking about that in chat. Something they have a hardware wallet, and they're asking what that means, what that would mean for them in the event of a fork. And the answer is you would have both. You would have, if you had 100 Bitcoins, then there was a split. Then you would have 100 Bitcoin A and 100 Bitcoin B. Now, there's some technical stuff that I won't get into about spending those Bitcoins. So you would want to be careful about transacting them after a fork, because unless you had the right software doing the right kind of transactions, you wouldn't really know which coins you were spending. You wouldn't know if you were spending A coins or B coins or both coins. So you would have to take precautions to spend one type of coin at a time. And it all depends on how the forks go down and what the rules are on the different networks and stuff. So keep that in mind. But that's the basis here, is if you keep your coins in cold storage, you end up on both sides of the fork. Now, as for the question of whether you should get into an altcoin, it's incredibly hard to answer.
You don't think it'll like hurt? You don't think it'll hurt the price that much? Like, I get, like, that would, like, if it would kill the price, then maybe go an altcoin.
Right. So the question is if the sum of the A and the B coins would end up being higher or lower than the original Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And because I'm a catastrophe skeptic, if I had to guess, which I guess in a way I do because I own Bitcoin, and at the moment, I don't think I'm planning on doing anything about them. I think I'm just going to keep them in storage, probably. That's a guess, but that's probably what I'll do. And my reasoning for that is same thing. I'm a catastrophe skeptic. I don't think a ton of bad stuff is going to happen, even though it definitely could. But I also believe that if we come through this, I don't know, that could be a ton of upside for Bitcoin. I mean, if we survive as one coin, not one coin's a scam, but if it stays as the original Bitcoin, man, can you imagine what people would say on August, 3rd or 4th or 5th, when we're like, oh crap, there was a user activated soft fork deadline and everything's fine. And then whatever, like a month later or however long it takes for SegWit to actually activate. And then once, exchanges start using the Lightning Network, can you imagine how much that could drive the price up? I mean, both on speculation and actual uses with the Lightning Network. And even if you do fork, you could still have the Lightning Network on whatever chain has SegWit. So there's so much upside. I mean, we've talked about the price countless times on the show, and we try not to get, obviously we can't give advice about it, and we try not to get too excited about it because we've been in the space for years. We know it can go up really fast. We know it can go down really fast, and we often try not to focus on those swings like that. But still, long term, can you imagine the upside potential if we get through this, or even if we do fork and we have SegWit and we have Lightning Network on one of the chains, which there are arguments against Lightning Network as well. Maybe that'll flop, but still, I just see a ton of upside potential. So that's
actually a really good point. I didn't think of that. I think if you're a catastrophe skeptic, you have to be an upswing skeptic too. But
yeah, good call. Good call.
No, I'm kidding partly, but also true. But that, like, I guess in a way, like, the price has been well, but like over the next like from August 1st to October, or over the next, like from August to August 2018, fork is damper on the already like decent price performance we're seeing, and there could be a huge. I honestly didn't even think of that, of like surviving as one
Yeah.
coin. Yeah. Okay. Great answer. Thanks. That's actually super good.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Someone in the chat says that Rick says even if we did succeed, the new adopters wouldn't know what's going on. I'm not sure what he means by success. I don't know if he's talking about a successful split or a successful single Bitcoin. I don't know, but I could see that if the user activated soft fork or whatever else, if it went through okay and there was no actual chain split, then I think the new adopters will be just fine. It's Bitcoin. What's the issue? That's a total
New
guess.
new adopters, new users, or new adopters, who's new adopters?
Yeah, I think he means users, people that
Okay.
are going to be buying Bitcoin and driving the price up. Yeah, I don't know, but what do you think, Tim? Any should we all flee into altcoins and worrying about this kind of split?
Definitely. We should definitely get into well, let me know the altcoins first. I want full tweets to Yumi and BTC, as well as Tim or Baker's Dozen. I'll put that out. Baker's Dozen 93. Tweet me what altcoins you're about to dump $10,000 in. I would appreciate that quite a bit.
I bought a couple hundred pot coins, and as an update, Potcoin to try and get them on the show, and they still haven't answered my email.
They're too stoned, Zach. They're like, emails from the government. They're
They
trying
don't even know how to type.
Or maybe they just never came back from North. Did they ever come back from North Korea? Did they die?
Probably not.
There.
They kept them there.
Oh yeah, I remember. I saw those pictures.
Yeah,
like
they
whoever
sponsored
it was.
Dennis Rodman to go to North Korea.
Yeah. Oh geez. That's good. Well, hey, it's probably been an hour now. I don't know. We regathered our viewers. We're up to 8 now. So thanks for being here, everyone. I don't have a landing page set up today at btc.com because, if you're just joining us, then you can catch up on the details from the beginning of the show. I just was, an unplanned late start and decided to just impromptu everything. I don't know. So we, talked about whatever and whatever. When did you start, Tim? When did you end up actually going on the air?
Probably about 9:30. I can check my.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm ready to wrap it up.
Doesn't matter, Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Let's definitely smoke the Potcoin next episode.
Yes.
How do you can smoke Potcoin?
It's not like everyone should own at least one Potcoin. It's 9 cents, 9.5 cents. Just buy a Potcoin.
Just buy it.
It's going to the moon. Quote me on this. Potcoin is going to the moon.
Definitely going.
All right. Well, hey, I'm ready to wrap it up. I have one more question though. We got to. Well, I guess 2. Okay, so I want to, just for kicks, because we covered this earlier, I want to know about Zach's 4th of July, and then we'll do advice of the week real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. So what you got for us, Zach? How was your 4th of July?
Mine was pretty boring. I had a couple nice beers, none of which were bought with Bitcoin, by the way. I'm still on that rant.
Yeah, somebody tweeted us. I think they tagged you.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I saw that. I was hyped. I was like, yes, someone's out there doing my legwork for me, trying to find a beer I can buy with Bitcoin. So
it's like a startup, and they're not selling it yet, but it's like they did a crowdfund, and they might accept Bitcoin or something. Yeah, we'll get there.
I'd be thrilled. But yeah, I studied all week. I'm studying for the LSAT, so I just studied all weekend.
Ouch. Oh, that sounds painful.
That's why I'm still talking. I'll blame the fact I'm still talking about hard forks and limited on that because my brain's all mush right now.
No worries. No worries. So advice of the week then is what that brings us to. I'm gonna say two things. Number one, skepticize that catastrophe. Just do it. Just don't worry about anything ever. Be a hippie. All right, that's a little far, but yeah, don't worry about catastrophe. It's never happened to anyone, ever. Nobody's ever had bad things happen to them. So calm down, dude. That's a lie, but
yeah, dude. Smoke some pot, which is my advice of the week. Go smoke or go buy popcorn. Don't. My advice of the week is not go smoke pot.
Come at illegal acts. We are spreading our message to the masses.
Jeez. Hey, well,
go buy a pot coin.
The other half of mine is don't plan anything. I mean, we survived. We did a fun hour show, got several viewers, and we'll get several more, on the podcast version and everything. So what's the point of planning if I could have just unplanned it every single week? Exactly. So that's my second bit of advice is don't plan anything. We didn't even write show notes. Tim just, what did you even title this thing, Tim? Podcast pending? Yeah. So there's that.
Witty.
I'm not going to change the title. We'll see what our email list thinks of that. When they get an email, it just says podcast pending, and we'll see how many unsubscribes we get for that title.
I want to create chaos.
I don't know. Actually, though, Tim, what was the issue? Frick. I think it was blockchainarchy versus cryptogarchy. We had an episode where we were arguing about which term was better, and I opted for blockchainarchy, and John insisted it should be cryptogarchy. But I argued that I won that debate because our email with the title blockchainarchy had record opens. So I feel like blockchainarchy did pretty darn good for me.
What kind of weird brag is this, Daniel? You're like, hey, everybody, my word's better.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to not brag about it. I'm sorry. Hey, if you're not on our email list, me and btc.com, if you're on desktop, there's a subscribe area in the sidebar. Wow, I never actually thought of this. I don't know how you subscribe on mobile. There will be a pop-up after like 30 seconds, so you could wait for that if you want. But anyway, yeah, now I got to find a way for people to subscribe on mobile. Never even crossed my mind. I don't know. It's okay. I don't usually plug the newsletter on here, but since we were talking about it, it is a thing. So yeah, you can join that. Me, and btc.com. Tim, you got any advice for us? And then we will wrap it up. Speaker Knocker says, keep up the good work. Episode 182, you came a long way. That is frickin' true. I mean, for as unplanned, as bad as this episode is, it's actually not that bad. But, considering, 182 episodes. Holy crap. I can't believe it. I just can't. I can't even.
I'm so glad to have been here since episode 1. It's been a
long ride, Zach.
It's been a journey.
Yeah. Honestly, this is I know everyone says this to their fans and most of them are lying, but I'm dead serious. We could not do this without you. If people weren't, upvoting on YouTube and giving us some slightly higher views on YouTube and Spreaker, SoundCloud, all over the place. Our networks, Liberty.me, LRN.FM. We're not on the World Crypto Network anymore, but they're pretty cool and they did some good stuff for us. It's all great.
No,
we couldn't do it without the people listening on all those networks.
You're bringing up bad
Tim doesn't know. If you made it through the first half of the show when Tim was alone, congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you fighting.
I will send you a medal.
I even said, welcome, strap in, motherfuckers. We're about to get stupid.
Slightly stupid.
I'll send you a pot coin. I'll send you 5 pot coins.
Oh boy,
Nice.
Tim, you must have done pretty darn well.
Yeah.
Did we ever get advice out of you yet?
No,
I feel like I just kept rambling on while you could think about your advice.
Still thinking advice. All right, applicable advice. Go to Home Depot if you can find them and buy a $40 smoker. It's really good if you have 8 hours to make meat. Besides that, yeah, buy Bitcoin so it goes up higher, so I get more money out of it, and enjoy yourself.
Those are two extremely good pieces of advices. $40
Stay
smokers
sleazy.
and Bitcoin. Doesn't get much better than that. Maybe that's the title of our next episode. $40 smokers. Anyway. All right, guys. Peace out. It's been a blast. As always, in the meantime, it's you, me, and btc.com. Like I said, the newsletter's there, which I don't usually plug. I don't think about it all the time, but it is there. We have price tickers and graphs, calculators, hundreds of old episodes now. It's actually more than 182 because we've done several live episodes that were not part of the mainstream. And we've done some special interviews that did not get official episode numbers. So there, I think we can officially say hundreds of episodes now because I think we're officially over 200. So yeah, all of that is at you, me, and btc.com plus reviews, tutorials, commentary, all that's there for your viewing pleasure. And come back next Thursday, same time, same place, kind of, because hopefully next week we're actually on schedule, but also hopefully because I might be dead. You never know. But theoretically, same time, same place next week. Thanks a lot, Speaker Knocker. Thanks a lot, Bitcoin B. Thanks a lot, Rick Stefanowski. Thanks a lot, James Bond. Who else we got here? Mr. Hires, NY Cartoons. And anyone else, if I'm missing you, Varen Music. It's very nice here in PA. Okay, cool. What's up, Varen? 21 Million Club was back there a while.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it's nice in PA, but cheers to you.
All right, guys. We're out of here. If you're hearing music right now, that is from John Stewart. Gosh, he really does not deserve credit anymore. He's got to show up to get credit. Peace out. Until next time. You, me, and BTC.